and a spot in the Elite Eight at stake. Who's moving on? We'll find out as Michigan State controls the tip.
Brad Hill. UConn goes a little bit. A lot of inside games, Grant was told, as well as me by Tom, they're going to use the power game early.
UConn has won 16 games in a row in the Sweet 16 or later. That is incredible. Caravan tees it up with a straightaway tray.
You see, Rap, they're going to double team with Caravan on the post against Kohler.
Pull-up pump, Fears. He can't it.
His middle game is exquisite.
Right now it's Kohler defending him. Demery on a bounce. Reed has owned the paint, and it's denied by Cooper.
Kohler does so many things. Shows he corralled that deep push.
The lane opens up. Demery works in, kicks it.
Nice
extra. Mullins, freshman, bottom.
He and Ball are the keys to this team.
Out of Greenfield, Indiana. Scott.
Nice cut.
The spin, then Cooper had it rejected by Reed. Out of bounds.
Great defense there, the Huskies.
Nice activity by Mullins.
3.5 gone by in this first half.
Nice play.
Hard drive and big finish by Big Hoss Terrace. Reed taking it to the hole.
Not getting anything out of it, but boy, that wears on you.
The back end. Ward. And he got rejected by Mullins, and Ward touched it last, but Mullins is banged up.
And also very good in the low post area. Great extension on his layups.
It's a 7-footer from Germany, Ryba.
Oh, take it.
Smith will take it. And make it from the outside. It touched every part of the rim.
Caravan with the slip. And
Pretty. That's well executed. Caravan gets the floater off the glass. And it's 15-6. Huskies.
That is what he can do, too. He plays hard. Bojic.
Ball
Goes and
splashes in a three.
And Raph, he needed that right there. A solo ball, been struggling with his shot. Dan Hurley.
Michigan State to match up with the speed and cutting ability.
Yeah, a lot of movement here. Set it up for Stewart, and he cans a triple. Jalen Stewart back from injury, and he nails it from the corner.
His offense, we always knew he could guard.
Stewart was dealing with right knee inflammation. Hadn't played since February 21st. Ball again. Yes, sir!
Tough shot right there.
21-2 run. Fears trying to settle things down. Scott drive. Scott in a crowd. Had it knocked away.
Numbers.
Appreciate that.
Carr on a bounce.
Nice
Kohler.
spin out.
Drop step and deuce.
And they have gone to just the one center. Ball's got a hop in his step. Much more active on his cuts.
Reed a back in on Kohler. Cutter. And the layup goes for Demery. Michigan State is 0 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Now they've got back to the regular lineup. Two bigs on the floor. Nice slip by Caravan. Hands.
The step in by Fears. In transition, Fears accelerates and he lays it in.
That's their game. Starts on the D.
Get to the free throw line, but the anticipation from the strong corner. And as you said, Ryan, this is where Fears is.
Look at all the cuts here.
I mean, it's amazing.
UConn, 10 assists, 10 field goals, and Reed wheels to the rim.
The constant push.
And Carr loses the ball. He was trying to drive towards the rim. Smith forcing the action. Reed flips it in. Terrace Reed, another interior bucket. Send the big body to Fears. No looks it inside. Ward with a corkscrew. 10 to shoot.
See if they come with some help at some point.
Reed with Cooper. Reed spins and scores! Terrace Reed is playing like Willis Reed. A chance at a three-point play for Reed when we come.
Kohler on the floor. Cooper's got the two. He can make that shot.
Kohler got a three.
How about that insertion? Big fella. Banging it home from deep.
Carr couldn't get it to Fears. Instead, it's Kohler. They'll go to the other side, and Scott. Give it up. Carr puts it in.
And the cut and the pass on time.
Kohler off the rim. And the box out there by Caravan to tap it to Demery. Ahead.
It back.
Ball puts it high off the window and down. What an acrobatic play by Ball. Back to a 10-point lead for UConn. We're down to 25 seconds left. Fears takes it to the rim hard for two.
Boy, no, didn't make a beat. Nice slip.
The roll, Cooper flips it up and in, +1.
A little late on the cover.
Caravan, he was there. It looked like he got there, just kind of moved maybe the wrong angle.
9 offensive rebounds, just 2 second chance points for Michigan State. Caravan lines it up. Short. Reed. Oh, and Carr just went to the sky to reject it.
How about that? How about the block? And 2 guys end up on the derriere. I have never seen that.
Fears with pace. Cooper hands to Carr. He made the defensive play and the offensive play. Shot clock is down to 4.
Nice job by Cooper showing.
Has to hoist. Mullins connects. It's a 3. Cooper taken away by Reed. He's running the floor. Reed on the rock attack. Terrence Reed Jr. goes in.
Take us home here.
Reed Jr.
Beautiful.
Feed it. Reed creating space with Kohler. Reed goes up. Missed it. Caravan is there. Uncontested on the weak side. Up the floor in a hurry is Fears. Catch by Ward. And it's blocked by Caravan. Screen Kohler. Fears swing. Extra. Scott, it's blocked by Caravan. That's 6 blocks now. Ball pressure on Wojcik. He's trying to turn the corner and will. Caravan the help. Bounce it for the jumper Fort. Got him.
A nice job by Wojcik keeping the dribble alive.
And Michigan State has cut it to 2. We approach 12 minutes to play in regulation.
Nice curl.
Caravan all the way for 2.
He keeps busy.
From 3-point territory, they are 1 of 7 since that stretch. Fears try to accelerate, had the ball poked away.
Smith.
Leak out. Ross will drive it, and it's blocked by Cooper. Out of bounds. Michigan State, 0 fouls committed this half. Fears, no luck. Carr breaks free and gets the roll. He has been the engine.
Caravan keeping busy, keeping Cooper. They got the 2 bigs.
Ball. Too strong, he overcooked it. Rebounded by Cooper.
2 hands. Nice
Up ahead. Kohler flips it in, plus the foul. Michigan State with a chance to take the lead. Smith in a matchup with Fears. Caravan, he fakes out Kohler, drives, bounces. What a setup to Reed.
And that's because the bigs are on him. He can blow by.
11 offensive rebounds for the Spartans.
That would have put Kohler in the box area with Caravan.
Cooper the fake.
How about that?
And a nice turnaround with the shooter's touch.
A nice little shimmy right there.
We're going to hit the 9-minute mark of this second half.
Again, this is a tough match.
Reed, a great position and a chance for 3.
Low box area.
Reed pins down right there. Caravan gets open, and you spread the floor.
Demery back out there for UConn. Remember, they had a huge lead, 25-6.
Caravan, unbelievable.
Caravan, Cha-ching from 3.
That's all him and his activity.
Ward comes out to set a screen for Fears. Hard drive, puts it up and in. He kisses it off the window.
Now bring it over here. That's what Kohler was saying.
Carr lost it. Oh, Mr. Cooper. He slams it down. Coming up for Carson Cooper.
Not necessary either. I'd love to see Reed on the box and go to work. There he is. There he is. Now go strong.
He will. Reed gets it to go.
Nice little high-low with the guard.
Kohler, kick out. Scott, 8 to shoot. Scott, stutter step, gets to the rim for 2.
Nice shot there, Jordan Scott getting downhill.
1 possession game. Cooper with a high screen. Here's the roll by Cooper. And the finish! Cooper with a thunderous jam.
Nice set. Oh, miss Reed. There you go.
Reed, post up, kick. Caravan, deep one.
Some early
possessions. Put the ball in the hands of your seniors. Caravan knocking down that 3.
He's matched up with a point guard, Demery.
Got to be careful he doesn't charge.
Double team. Fears, they need it. Oh, yeah!
Just wants token pressure right here. No fouls.
Long pass. Knock away, and that's going to do it. UConn's championship hopes remain alive.